1. Projectile motion. Projectile motion is a motion of an object in a curved line. An object will travel in a curved line when there is a force exerting on the object in a direction that is different from the motion's direction. Calculating the velocity of an object. A force that exerts on an object will move the object from its original course. Therefore, the direction of the object's velocity will always change. That is, the direction of velocity at each point will follow the direction of the touching line of the motion's course at that point. Velocities at particular point will have different directions, which we can divide into two groups: the horizontal velocity and the vertical velocity. In the horizontal x-axis, there is no force exerting on an object, so every point has the same velocity. In the vertical y-axis, there is gravity force exerting on an object which caused the object to fall with acceleration of g. Therefore, the velocity of the object will continually increase. Vertical velocity can be calculated from the motion of free-falling object. Example 1. A football is kicked with a velocity of 50 meters per second at the angle of 53 degrees. Calculate the horizontal velocity and the vertical velocity of the football when it has been moved for 3 seconds. Divide the beginning velocity into x-axis and y-axis. The horizontal velocity is 30 meters per second. From the formula to calculate velocity of free falling on y-axis. The horizontal velocity is 30 meters per second and the vertical velocity is 10 meters per second. Calculating the distance. From the projectile motion, we cannot calculate the distance, which is along the curved line. Therefore, we will study the last position through which the object passes by considering the shadow of the object which moves on the x-axis and y-axis. 1. Equations of motion in the horizontal plane. In the horizontal plane, gravity force is not exerted on an object. For the motion in the horizontal, an object moves with constant velocity. The distance in the horizontal is calculated from this formula. 2. Equations of the motion in vertical. In the vertical, an object is attracted by the earth to fall down. The falling of an object in projectile motion is the same as the falling of an object straight down. The motion of projectile in the vertical is the same as free falling. Therefore, the calculation of the distance in the vertical is the same as that of free falling, which is from formulas. Example 2. A table is 1.25 meters high, up from the ground. Put a coin on the edge of the table and flick it with the beginning velocity of 4 meters per second. How far from the table's leg does the coin fall? Calculate the distance in the horizontal from formulas. Calculate the distance in the vertical from formulas. Replace t in the equation. You will have the coin will fall 2 meters from the leg of the table. Example 3. A football is kicked with the initial velocity of 20 meters per second at an angle of 45 degrees. How far does the football fall from the kicking point? A football falls 40 meters from the kicking point. Example 4. Demonstrate that we have to throw at 45 degrees angle if we want to make a throwing object fall farthest from the throwing point. Equations of the horizontal. Equations of the vertical. We have to throw at an angle of 45 degrees. Projectiles in daily life. 1. Shooting a gun in a shooting range. The bullet that goes out moves in a projectile motion. Therefore, the gun has to be pointed higher than the target so that the bullet will hit the target. 2. Shooting a cannon. If we want to fire a cannonball on the target, we have to point the cannon so that the distance in the horizontal is at the correct angle with the distance in the vertical and in accordance with the position where the object will fall. 3. Dropping a bomb from an airplane. A pilot has to drop a bomb which moves in a projectile motion on a target.